going on, your oil drips and enter this tank. So when this tank is full, this tank takes the capacity is 1 drum. So once the oil is up to the certain level, you start to scoop it to your drums, where you will allow them to settle down. Two things happens in this basket. As the kernel is, going inside the basket with pressure now squeezes the kernel. First of all, your oil will come out. When the oil comes out, then your cake will come out through this channel also dry. Your oil falls inside the tank, whereas your cake comes from this channel, and we collect it with these our jute bags.
The crusher is the most important machine in this factory. It is used to separate the crude palm kernel oil from the other component, now known as the palm kernel cake. The palm kernel cake is immediately collected and bagged away, 50 kilograms apiece, while the oil collected in a container under the crusher is being transferred to waiting drums close by. The palm kernel cake, otherwise known as the PKC, is the major byproduct from this factory, and it doesn't go to waste.
We collect our cake from this point and bag it, 50 kg per bag, ready for sale to the users like pig farmers, those that do poultry, and even goats. They use it to feed goats also.
If everything runs well, this factory with a single crusher can currently produce 5 drums of crude PKO in a single day. A drum of crude PKO sells for roughly 2 times the minimum wage.
Our capacity for now is we produce a ton every day, but we intend to double it. A ton is the 31 bag that my toaster takes. For instance, for now, a drum is about 37,000 naira.
This factory currently moves the oil produced from the crusher into the drums manually, and they have to wait 24 hours to further separate sediments from the oil. They depend on the law of gravity. But nothing goes to waste. Even the sediments separated from the oil, known as the sludge, is further put to use.
Very, very useful.
Okay,
they still use it to feed the birds. Poultry people, they mix it with their food. They still give it to the pigs.
Okay,
and
because it then still contains
yes,
fiber.
it still contains some fiber. And finally, they can still use it as a kind of a fuel to cook with firewood. You join it and you see there's no waste.
But in order to save production time, the Bank of Industry also helped them to produce a newly fabricated filter, which will swing into full operation in a matter of days.
This is the filter. Like the process I explained before, we are using the manual process to filter, but we just acquired this through the help of Bank of Industry. So by next week, we power the filter. So the filter shortens the filtration process. It's quicker. It's instant. Once you're using this, as the oil is coming out from the tank, you are pouring it to this bigger tank.
Okay.
Then you can see the pipe.
Yeah.
The pipe sucks the oil from this position tank, and it goes through these ones. As it's going through the filter, it's dropping off from the various taps. You know, the taps are many because it has to be dropping, but it's quicker. So at the end of the day, I can still sell my oil today, not waiting for the next day.
Shortly after seeing the operations in the factory, the chief promoter and president of Simon Part Cooperative Society tells me what led the group to engaging in crude PKO production.
Yeah, it's a vision come true. I think it was sometime in the ending of 2013 during one of our meetings.